Hello everyone, welcome to the final part of this 4-part series where I look at every character in Mortal Kombat 1 and discuss how fun they are. So today we're taking a look at the top 5 most fun characters, the S tier characters. Now before we get into that, YouTube's recently added in the option to hype up videos, so if you do enjoy this video, it is in the comment section sort of area. You can find it there and it would really help me out. I'd appreciate it greatly. It would help this video reach more people. So if you enjoy this video, you agree with me, even if you don't, but you enjoy the video, make sure to do that. I'd really appreciate it. Of course, consider subscribing as well. I'm going to be making a bunch more Mortal Kombat videos in the future. And finally, if you like streams, I'm going to start streaming a bit more now, mostly on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Sundays, so make sure to stop by. I'd really appreciate it. So, at number 5, we have Sub-Zero. He is my favorite character in the game. However, I don't think he is the most fun technically. So every character from here in this video will have a 5 out of 5 for fun. Strength, Sub-Zero used to be pretty bad. He was probably like a 1. In the beta, he was super good, but then they nerfed him real hard. Now I think he's about middle tier, solid. And for difficulty, he's about a 2. I think you can learn him pretty quickly, but there's some skill level needed for him for sure, especially with some harder combos. But in general, I think he's relatively easy. He won't take you all that long to get some decent combos going with him, and he's definitely quite a fun character, at least to me. I think he's definitely worth picking up and trying out. Then, the most fun guest character or DLC character, I think Conan is just that. I think for his strength, he's about, most characters in this video I've given about a 3. Most of the middle tier characters, strangely enough for me, are quite fun. I think difficulty, he's about a 2. I was going to give him a 3 because he does struggle at ranges. He doesn't really have any projectiles, so he can't really spam those. He can't really get in that well, but I think his combos are pretty simplistic and he doesn't take all that long to learn. If you get the right cameo with him, just use Serena or Sub-Zero. It'll be quite simplistic, I reckon. But yeah, I reckon 5, 3, and 2 for Conan. A relatively easy character to pick up, but once you know the basics, you'll get the hang of it. And I think he is overall absolutely in my top 5. Then we have Natara. She's moved down quite a bit. I used to have her maybe like 8th, but yeah, after revisiting her for this video, absolutely in the top 5. She's about 4th or 3rd, sometimes even 2nd for me. Strength, she used to be pretty bad, but they buffed her a bit and now she is pretty scary. She gets arguably the best damage in the game if you have the right cameo with her. You can see in the background here I've got a pretty good combo going. I do drop it unfortunately, but you can see the damage there, that if I didn't mess it up, it's pretty nasty. In terms of difficulty, I think her flight and all her mobility makes her a bit more difficult than the other characters I've mentioned so far. But that doesn't mean she's really difficult. I think to just use her at her highest potential, it's a bit more difficult than the characters I've mentioned so far and most characters throughout the whole roster. Then we have Li Mei in the 2nd spot. I think people really downplay this character as one of the most fun in the game. People tend to sort of forget about her, I find, which sucks because I think especially when you use a cameo like Scorpion or Janet Cage, she can be super fun. For her strength, I've given her a 3. I think she's very middle tier. She is pretty solid, like B tier in terms of strength. I think she's lacking some things, but I think she has some good tools as well. In terms of her difficulty, I think there's a bit more of a higher skill ceiling with her to you know, in comparison to some other characters in this video, but I do think that she can be learnt relatively easily. She just needs a bit more time than some characters like Scorpion or Liu Kang, but overall, I think if you want to master her, it won't take all that long. You can get some really fun combos going, as I said, once you use a cameo that you think really works with her. It doesn't have to be Scorpion or Janet Cage, anyone that works for you. Finally, this hasn't changed for me. The most fun character has to be Melina. I think when you use the right cameo, again, cameos really depend in this video usually on how fun a character is, but you can see in the footage here, Melina is quite fun. Her moves are pretty flashy, and when you use the Scorpion cameo, or recently I've started using the Striker cameo, you can get some really nasty damage. For strength, I think she's a 3 as well. Pretty middle tier, around B tier I would say as well. In terms of her difficulty, I think she's also a 3. I think getting the timing down for some of her combos, like you can see in the background here, can be a bit difficult, but I think once again, once you sort of got that down, you get some really good damage, as you can see there, about 500%. Hopefully the footage isn't too blurry there so you can actually see it, but yeah, you can see she gets pretty good damage, high effort, and pretty high reward, but also not that difficult to learn. So that's the video done, everyone. Pretty short video. I thought it would be interesting to actually put all of these almost into a tier list so you guys could see what it looks like. Now, unfortunately, I had to take this screenshot on my phone from my laptop because it wouldn't save for some reason. So in the top tier, we have Melina, Lee May, Natara, Coden, Sub-Zero, obviously all the people in today's video. If you haven't seen the rest of the videos, this is what they looked like. So Scorpion, Lu, Ashra, T1000, Noob, Katana, Ghostface, Havoc, Takeda, Smoke, Sarax, Raiden, Reiko, Xiao, Khan or General Xiao, Sector, Tanya, Baraka, Quan Chi, Reptile, Kung Lao, Johnny, Peacemaker, Omni-Man, Rain, Shang Tsung, Ermac, Sindel, Geras, Kenji, and Homelander. And then Floyd is in his own tier because you can't play as him, but he has Shang Tsung's moves from MK11 basically, so he'd probably be about A tier if he was playable. But that is actually about it, everyone. I sort of speed run that little bit there, but again, make sure to consider subscribing and checking out the stream that I'll be doing probably tonight. So if you see this video on Wednesday, I'm probably streaming soon, so hopefully I'll see you there.